Welcome to Ask Allie, your place for life advice with a metaphysical twist. You know what? Ask Allie is the longest running metaphysical podcast on iTunes. I've been helping others here since 2005. Today is Monday, April 17th, 2017. I had to think about that. I want to thank you for tuning in and giving me a listen to. Show your love and support here for the podcast and get some perks in return. Go to AskAlliePodcast.com. All right, we're making some changes here in the podcast. I know it's Mercury retrograde and I shouldn't shake things up, but I was getting this really big nudge to do so. So, what the heck? The worst thing can happen? It doesn't work, and I do something else. I mean, I've been doing this podcast since 2005, and trust me, I went back to my very first episode. Oh, it was bad. It was shameful. December 12th, 2005. And I talked about eclampe. Eclampe, it's a herb. And then I answered somebody's question. And then I talked about a stone. And then I answered somebody's question. And then I gave an overview of Allie's 2 cents, which was my blog back then. And that was it. It was done. It's Ask Allie. This podcast is always shifting and growing and trying to meet the needs of the people who listen to me. That's why I do this. I don't need to do this, but I do this for you guys. And because of that, the changes to the podcast, the tarot overview for the week, I've taken out. And in its place, I am putting messages from Joshua and Celina for the week. Now, if you don't know who Joshua and Celina are, they are my 2 guides that up until beginning of 2016 were like my direct guides, trying to guide me to do things and help me out down my path. And then they took a step back from directly guiding me, and another guide came in, and now that guide is gone, and 2 of my older guides, Edward and Bridget, are here. But anyways, Joshua and Celina have always been here, and for other people, not for me. They said, we want to do this. So here they are. So we get messages from Joshua and Celina now for the week. And also, I used to run something from, it was around 2000, and I guess later on in 2005 or 2006. The 2009, I did podcast deal of the week. So I'm putting that back in for a while. We'll see if that works. With this podcast deal, I'll offer you anywhere from a deal on books to energy healing to a reading to coaching. Who knows? I've done so many things since 2005. The list is very long, so who knows what I will put in there. Now, that said, I got a scathing review on iTunes for this podcast. This individual, Weird Vibes, is the title of her review. Oh my God. Title of her review, or her rant, however you want to put it. And I know it's a her because I know who contacted me. Okay, so I know who this is. I know who the person is. And she says that she loved the podcast. She loved this podcast so much that she wanted to get a reading from me. So, and I say thank you. Thank you for loving the podcast. But she said the process to getting the reading, just too many hurdles. And she had to go through too much. And the whole experience was cold and judgmental. And because of that, she's not listening to the podcast anymore. Well, I don't do readings anymore. So I was doing her a favor. That's why it's not a streamlined process. You don't go to a website and click on something and schedule your reading and pay, boom, 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 and then I get an email. Because since I don't do them, it's not streamlined. Anyone who has ever gotten, would throw up a reading here and there over the years, or specials, like Christmas specials, on Facebook. I throw up specials, you tell me what you want, you email me, I email you back, I send you an invoice, we work it out. That's what's done. But And this woman was on the last step. All I had to do was send her an invoice. We had everything mapped out. The time of the call, how long we were going to talk, all that stuff. And then she bailed. So, ah, ah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't kiss people's ass. I never will. I don't. Never. It won't happen. Not in this lifetime. Unless it's a really fine looking ass. And then, well, maybe. You never know. Depends who else is attached to it. But I was doing somebody a favor. And because the process did not go as smooth as she wanted it to, she threw up a really bad review. So, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I always say that. You want someone to hold your hand and pat you on the back? That's not me. It's never me. I'm kind of more of in your face. This is what I suggest you do. Suggest. And that's up to you to do it. All right. So, I just thought it was interesting. Cold and judgmental. Does this person even know me? Has she ever met me? No. I'm not cold. Hardly. And who am I to judge? Good God. I've done so many wrong things in my life that I'm impressed that I will be 50 here soon. Speaking of me being 50, don't forget, for my 50th, I would love it if you sent me a copy of your favorite book. Please don't send me the actual favorite book because I'm not going to give it back. Just put your name inside the copy, the address I put in the show's notes, and ship it on off. I would love it if my listeners would build me a bigger library. I love to read. So please, 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 May 2nd is my birthday, so ship. And I'll be very happy. Excuse the fan in the background. It is 80 degrees, and I am in a farmhouse whose windows really don't open. So it's going to have to be fans for now. What else is going on? For those who support the podcast, don't forget, in May, our Soul Terrific Salon will be Manifest Miracles. Ask Allie does have a Facebook page, and I remembered it did. Soul Terrific has an Instagram. And I think that's it for the announcements. That's enough. Let's take a sip, shall we? All right. Okay. Joshua and Celina messages for the week. I will not be channeling them per se like I do when I do like chat readings for people or email readings. They don't want me to do it. So I'm not going to. What they are, which they are right here, they're surrounding me, and they will tell me things, and I will tell you. All right? So this is messages for the week of April 17th until we meet again next Monday. All right? Okay. So what are they saying? Let's tune in here a second. They're saying that not everything is as it appears. Look beneath the surface if you really want to know answers. Be cautious with money this week. Spend what you can afford to lose, because what you spend, you will not immediately get back. For those of you who come into a large sum of money in the next couple of weeks, it is important for you to do self-care and to put some away and also pay some bills. Okay. Love is a battlefield? Really? Love is a battlefield. Isn't that Pat Benatar song? Love is a battlefield this week. So do not make any long-range romantic plans with what happens during this week. If the two of you get into a fight, if you're not getting along, if you miss one another, if there's missed communications, it's not the end of the world. Don't decide to break up over it. So don't decide to just not speak to anybody, or don't decide to go cheat on them because you're pissed at them. This is a week of up and down energy. They're showing me like a roller coaster, up and down energy. And that is why the two of you will not be in sync. If you're going on a first date this week, reschedule. Reschedule it. Don't do it because nothing good will come. Nothing good will come of it. Okay. Good to know. And is there anything else? Okay, last but not least, they want me to tell you, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? And this can apply to anything. What are you waiting for? And they are literally hitting me on the side of the head right now. So this is also to me. What are you waiting for? And that's how we're going to end it. What are you waiting for? All right? Okay. Now, the messages they give out are generalized messages meant to reach a lot of people. So if something there doesn't fit you, then it doesn't fit you. You know, it's not individual. They're not sitting down with you and having a discussion. So those are some interesting. Love is a battlefield. Really? Really? They're using my thoughts against me. What's my memories in my brain? They go fishing. It's not very nice, but there you go. All right, Joshua and Celina messages for the week. Now, moving on to question and answer of the week. You can submit your details for a very free reading, free FREE. There are no hurdles to jump over. There's no hassle. You just got to go here, click on a link, and fill stuff out. And I will answer your question here on the show. If you're a supporter of the podcast, your questions automatically get answered. If you are not a supporter of the podcast, but a listener, thank you very much, then I pick and choose. I just go in and I literally close my eyes and randomly pick one. And that's the one I choose that I put here. Okay? Okay. So this question is very long. This is from Phil. Hi, Phil. And he said it was okay I use this name and not just Pete. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, because I'm reading it all. Because I believe all of it is very important. Okay? Okay. Hi, Allie. I know it's been a while since we spoke. It has been quite some time, Phil. I'll do my best to keep this as brief as possible. Phil, this is not brief. Okay? The movement. The movement. The movement has been on the forefront of my mind since you created it and passed it to me. I've had some great ideas through the years on how to get it going and what to do, but wouldn't pursue the ideas either because of college, money, motivation, or my personal life. Last year I graduated college, clap, all on my own dime, quit an extremely soul-toxic job. I am so glad you quit that job, by the way, and now finally feel I have a decent grasp on my finances and on my mind. I'm not drinking booze as heavily as I used to. You know, let me just jump in and interject that most people who are highly sensitive drink or do some type of drugs or whatnot because it dulls the sensitivity for most. That's why a lot of sensitive people do it. Not all, but that's why a lot. I'm drinking more water and I've started to exercise. I say all that to say I've had some hurdles. There's that word again. I've had some hurdles to jump, and I'm proud that I finally have. Not to say habits won't come back, but I'm smarter about them. So earlier this year, after Trump's unfortunate election, don't get me started, it seemed like the world was starting to come together. We were fed up. We were marching, calling our government, rising up, and I began to think, okay, now's the time for the movement to strike. I was thinking of reporting from marches on YouTube, keeping people informed of what Trump's administration is doing, things of that nature. But now I feel like the world is all over the place. With shootings almost daily, chemical bombs in the East, homosexual concentration camps in Russia, and we know North Korea is itching to release a nuclear bomb. Things are only going to get worse. And I'm feeling incredibly small and questioning everything. Why should I continue with the movement if people are going to keep murdering each other? Who am I even to be the face of the movement? Is it narcissistic to think I can do it? What if it does become a huge deal and I'm murdered like John Lennon, Gandhi, or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? And what if nothing comes of it? What if I get hacked and they go for my family? Is the movement even enough? What more should I be doing? I honestly think of becoming a hermit and never leaving my apartment. And as a Taurus, I would enjoy doing that very much. And as a Taurus, since my birthday is the day before yours, I concur. But I know that if I do that, I'll nag at myself for not doing anything and end up getting a tumor or some disease for being stagnant for too long. Phil, I understand some of these scenarios are extreme, and I try to tell myself that we need this time in order to become more aware. From chaos comes peace. 2 steps back, 1 step forward, etc. But, Allie, I'm straight up fucking scared. I'm not sure what my question here is, honestly. I think I'm mainly looking for some guidance. Thanks in advance, Allie. I appreciate it. And feel free to use my name if you'd like. Phil. Well, obviously I did. And I read your whole question. And let me say, I did create the movement, and I don't even know what year it was anymore. 2007, 2008, somewhere in there. I mean, it was like 10 years ago. Weren't you still in high school, Phil? Or just right out of high school? I mean, it was a long time ago. And I created it because I knew I had to, and I wanted to still keep doing it, but I heard very strongly that it wasn't my movement. It wasn't my anything. I had to hand it off to the person who would take it over. And Phil, yes, that's still you. You what if an awful lot. And as a human, we all what if. I mean, it's very easy to sink to that and to keep that in your head and just keep what ifing yourself into a coma or to a tumor. You know, if you pull back and you stay away from everybody. What if it does take off? What if it doesn't? What if you're murdered? What if no one gives a damn? All those are separate paths. All those are paths that all could happen. But who knows if they will? You've got to start to do something. I believe the movement is more about, and again, this isn't mine anymore. This is yours. But I believe when I started it, it was more about uniting people spiritually, and moving forward as a whole. Because the more people who are together who have positive energy and who work together as a team tend to make more change. If covering rallies and all that frightens you, and that's fine. You don't have to do any of that. There are plenty of people on this planet, especially within the United States, who are doing just that, who are following, who are reporting on what's going on with Trump, talking about politics as a whole, the world as a whole, the bombs are going off and all that stuff. There are plenty of people doing that. What I think, and again, this is up to you, is just bringing like-minded people together for a cause. And that cause can be peace. That cause can be change for a more unified society, as opposed to being broken up into all these little pieces like we are now. And it takes a village to do something like this, but it only takes one person to get it going. You can bring people in to help you. You know, the movement isn't yours alone. It's yours to do with as you wish, but there are people below you who will help you out. Nobody's an island. It's impossible. Martin Luther King certainly was not an island. He spoke his message. People came to him, followed him, supported him, and helped carry his movement. He would not have had a movement had he not had followers. And it's not narcissistic, am I saying that word even right, to have people follow you. You know, it's not narcissistic to think that you can have people follow you and that you can make change in this world. Not everyone is a leader. Because if that was true, there'd be 0 followers, and all leaders need followers. And there are people who are perfectly fine following a leader for a cause. They have no qualms about it. They don't think anything of it. So, my advice for you is to kind of centralize this for now and give yourself a goal, a small goal. It can be doing a YouTube video a week about anything you want to. About you hear something in on the news, and from that, how people can steady themselves. What can people do in reaction to whatever news you hear? Give me something as simple as that. And Phil, since I know you and I know what you look like, you're a very handsome man, so I think you would do very well on camera for YouTube. You're very charismatic. That's the right word, charismatic. I just think you would do well. You just need to step up and do it. I hope that helps. I know you're the right person for this. You were the right person 10 years ago, and you're still the right person. All right? And as always, Phil, if you got a question about the movement, I mean, I can help you some way, but it's not my ball game. It's yours. You know where to find me. All right, my dear? All right. Love you. Okay. So again, guys, if you have a question, like Phil's was a question. It wasn't a reading. It was a question. He had a question about something. If you have a question about something like Phil does, send it to me. This is why I'm here. Okay, I do this stuff. I've been doing it since 2005 to help you. Right? All right. Now, moving on. Let's go to the topic of the week, which, interesting enough, I picked the topic before I found Phil's question. So the topic this week is 8 steps to finding the courage you need. Phil, here we go. Seriously, I did this topic and then I went and found the question, your question. I do topics that they tell me to do. Yeah, buddy. So, 8 steps to finding the courage you need. Now, when you lack courage, 2 of your energies are out of whack. Your red energy and your yellow energy. Red is all about passion, love, anger, frustration, and security. Yellow is all about courage, self-esteem, and self-confidence. When red is out of whack, you worry and get stuck in your head. The what-if syndrome. When yellow is out of whack, you keep to yourself, keeping yourself into your apartment syndrome, right? Now, how can you have the courage to take the steps you need when you're worried, stuck in your head, and you keep to yourself? Well, you can't. It's impossible. You can't do it. And so what do you do about this? Now, for me, I thought I was making strides, me being Taurus and I know what I'm doing type thing. Making strides over at the other house. But my red energy was out of whack. It was. And my yellow energy was out of whack. Most certainly. So the universe is like, you know what? We're putting all these things in front of you. You got guides who are trying to tell you you're not paying attention. So we're taking your house and we're throwing you out into the woods. So I got a farmhouse in the woods. That takes care of my red energy. We're taking away your money, so you have to go find a job. Driving a school bus. There's my yellow energy. Okay, so being in the woods helps my red energy balance. It's nature. It's away from people. It's peace. I've got water. I've got woods. I've got plenty of animals. I got lots of grass. So that's putting my red energy in balance. And my yellow energy, how to even get a school bus driver, a CDL, it is tough. It is not for the faint of heart to get that CDL. There's nothing easy about it. You'd be amazed how difficult it is to get that thing. And now, not only did I do that, but now I drive a school bus. And I got kids. I got kids behind me. I got 54 kids. My little screaming memes. That is not for the faint of heart. That definitely got my confidence up. Yellow, working for the bus garage has gotten me social again. I have a group of friends. We go do things. It showed me that I can do something I never thought I could, which is not only getting the license, but actually driving the bus and dealing with the screaming memes. So it fixed my red and my yellow. So, okay, so your 8 steps. Now that that's all done, your 8 steps. 1, get your energy back into balance. Get outside and be in nature to get your red energy back in balance. You can also eat red meat. You can also do yoga and meditation for your red energy. For your yellow energy, you can wear yellow clothes. It can be your underwear as far as I'm concerned, just as long as it's yellow. Eat yellow food. And you know what? Put that pinky toe outside your comfort zone. Again, boss for me. If you put that pinky toe outside your comfort zone, and you just take, it's just a little teeny step, a little teeny one, not a whole big one, just a little teeny one, then, and you accomplish whatever it is you put that pinky toe out to do, whether it's make a phone call, order pizza on the phone, whatever it is, it helps to boost your yellow energy. Okay, and also being more social around positive people, not around shitheads, but around positive people also helps to build up your yellow energy. So that's number one. Number two, find one big goal. Whatever it is, find one big goal, write it down. 3, discover what the first step is to that big goal. The first step could be looking online for things. It doesn't matter what the first step, who cares what the first step is? Doesn't matter how teeny weeny or how big, just as long as you find out what that first step is. Okay? Number 4, you take step 1. Take step 1. That easy. 5, don't listen to the bullshit of others, because when you listen to the bullshit of others, you're going to crawl back into your hole again and close the blast doors and want everyone else to go away. People don't like it when you change, even for change for the good. They don't like it, they don't like it, they don't like it. So, do not listen to the BS of others. 6, once you take step 1, step 2 will present itself. It may not be in your face, it may not happen right away, but you will discover what step 2 is. Okay? Step 7, don't listen to the bullshit of others. Yes, it's in there twice, for a reason. Listen to Allie. And 8, rinse and repeat steps 4 and 5, which means take a step and don't listen to bullshit until you've reached your goal. With each step you take, your courage grows. And as your courage grows, you move forward, right? Makes sense? And when you find your courage is taking a back seat again, and we're human beings, it happens. Go back to working on your red and yellow energies again. Get back in the nature. Put your pinky toe outside your comfort zone. Work on those 2. Okay? And everything else falls into. Work on those 2 and then take your steps. Okay? Trust me, this works. It works, it works, it works. And I'm not being cold, and I'm not being judgmental. I am being warm and truthful. All right? All right. So, podcast deal of the week. And I actually figured this out before I did the topic. So the podcast deal is actually the first thing I figured out for today's podcast. I call this the CEO Energy Tune-Up, which deals with confidence, personal power, self-esteem, and self-worth. This deals with your yellow energy. Okay? And what you get for this tune-up, you get an 8 energy stream or chakra assessment. I look at your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown chakra. So look at all 8 of them. Okay? And then I also and I tell you what they look like to me. And then I give you a set of holistic repairs for your CEO or yellow energy. What can you do to fix it other than wear yellow stuff and put your pinky toe outside? I've got meditation. I've got different kinds of food. I have stones. I have oils. All that stuff for you, for your yellow energy. There's free follow-up via email. You get this little report back from me and you're like, questions. I will answer them. Send them to me. It's that simple. This podcast deal of the week and all podcast deals, I will put a cap on, meaning I will only do so many. This time around, the cap is at 25. This podcast gets a couple thousand downloads per episode a week. So 25 of you can take advantage of this. All right, it's $39. That's it, $39. And how do we do this? Guess what? You got to email me. I know there's a hurdle, but I promise you it's well worth it. Because all you have to do is email me once. I send you out an invoice. You pay the invoice. And then I tell you when I'm going to be looking at your energy and when you should expect your report. It's that simple. It really, really is. So email me, Allie Theiss, ALLIETHEISS, at yahoo.com. Now, if that's too much typing for you to do, you can go to Allie Theiss Friends on Facebook, send me a message. You can also send me a private message via Facebook if you're one of my Facebook friends. You can go to one of my websites and fill out one of the type form contact pages and send it to me that way. How else can you get a hold of me? Send me a Twitter message. Send me a message on Instagram. There are lots of ways to get a hold of me if you don't want to do Allie Theiss at yahoo.com. All right? And this podcast deal is good until the following Monday or until my 25 is reached. Once one or the other happens, this deal is kaput and the next deal will come about. All righty, guys? All righty. Now, here we are at the end of Ask Allie. If you like this episode and hopefully this podcast, please rate it on iTunes and tell your friends. The bad review I got on iTunes is the only review I've gotten for 2017. So please, somebody give me something good on iTunes for 2017. Don't let her crappy one be the only one I get. That's sad. Sad. So please go iTunes, 5 stars, good stuff. I would appreciate it. Because, you know, the more ratings I get, the higher I'm up on the iTunes food chart. Food chart? It doesn't matter. And then the more people who listen, and the more people I can help with their lives. Join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And again, you can find this podcast if you would like to support it at AskAlliePodcast.com. You guys have yourself an absolutely wonderful week, and I'll catch you next Monday. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.